Do you know how to protect yourself on the road? Built to protect, creating my safety.
So let's get technical, or should I say let's get electronic. We've got an app. It's a beautiful app. I want to know a little bit more about it. I also want to talk about the usage of the app. Are we covered from a perspective of just when we're driving, or actually are you insured as the person? But what I'm going to do is first talk to you, Fabienne. When you get into an e-hailing service, do you share your location with a loved one or let people know where you are?
So definitely, depending on the setting or where I'm going to. So if I'm going to a meeting, I let those people know where I am, and then definitely a loved one. I think my dad, I'd always tell him where I'm going. I guess it gives a bit of safety to do something like that, a comfort thing, so that they know where I am.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that South Africans, we love saying we're around the corner, but now we can't tell them we're around the corner when they've got our live location. So let's talk about the app itself. There's a variety of features that are so unique and specific to Momentum Insure. Do you want to share those with us?
Yes, sure. So as a start, you go into the Momentum app. If you have other Momentum Group products, everything will be displayed here. And there's a Momentum Insure menu that you get into. And here you can see your policy details, the number to call if you have a claim. There's even self-service claims if that suits you better than speaking to a person. You can actually, for certain types of claims, kick off the process and do end-to-end fulfillment. So things like geyser claims and those type of drivable claims, you don't even have to speak to a person. But if you have a traumatic event, generally you would want to talk to somebody, and generally you wouldn't want to be navigating screens at that time. And then you can see the number that you need to call, speak to one of our people. They're always there to hear your side of the story and help you as efficiently as they can. So that's the claim side of it. On the app, we've got Accident Alert, which is a mobile panic button, and that's linked to almost 2,000 armed response and medical units across the country. It uses the location of your phone, and it sends you the closest responder, which normally takes about 5 minutes to get to your location. So that's sort of looking after your personal safety. For your safety on the road, we've got a feature called Safe Days. So what Safe Days does is it tracks the way you drive from your app, and it measures things like the time of day you drive, harsh braking, acceleration, those type of factors. It gives you a score at the end of the day, and that's where you could earn a safe day. If you don't drive for the day, you get a non-traveling safe day. But at the end of the month, you can get 30% of your premium as a cashback, even if you claim. And it's just for using our free safety features.
Can it tell a good hair day from a bad hair day? Or can it tell a moody day? You know, sometimes you drive a little bit differently when you're having a moody day. So you wanna keep your safe days, you wanna keep your driving in check because somebody's watching.
Yes. No, so look, you don't have to get a full score to get 30%,
Okay.
but it has to be close.
Okay.
So if you miss a day or two in between, you're still good. But it does measure how many days you actually get at the end of the month, and it puts you in a tier to get your cash back.
So Fabienne, do you think that you'd get your cash back at the end of the month?
Yeah, all my friends know me as a granny driver on the road, so I'm claiming that.
So that's quite interesting. You're a race car driver, but you drive like a granny on the roads. How does that work?
So I guess I get my need for speed on the racetrack, so the thrill and everything is there. But it can also be instilled from my dad growing up, where he says the real champions win on the track, not off it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I quite like a dice at a robot, I won't lie. But within reason. Now that I know that Big Brother's watching, maybe I'll take it a bit more seriously. Okay, so let's talk about Accident Alert. Is there something you want to expand on that?
Sure. So Accident Alert is a feature that we recently introduced, and we used our existing technology. So Safety Alert, which is the panic button, and we also have Safe Days, which is the telematics, the driving behavior feature. And we built a bridge between the two, so that if your driving behavior picks up a very harsh brake, it's very likely an accident, and then we push the button, the panic button, for you on your behalf in the background. So you could be unconscious and help is on its way.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And tell me, has the data shown, because you're a data guy, you managed to predict a lot of behavior. Has driver behavior changed since people have been tracked? Does it inform or does it actually change driver behavior?
So generally, people that get attracted to programs like this are good risks in any event. So we normally see better driving behavior from people that want to engage with something like this because they themselves believe they are good risks with our app.
That's phenomenal. I want to talk about severity, but I also want to talk about safety. So from a driver's perspective, we live in a space that we're quite vulnerable to a variety of things, whether it be car accidents or actual incidental things that happen or environmental issues that happen around the vehicle. Do you have some safety tips for us as a driver that you could share with us?
So for sure, number one would be prevention's better than cure. So always planning yourself ahead of time and educating yourself on what you're now going to do. It all depends how far you're driving and if you're going with the e-hailing or something like that, or even driving as passenger with someone, is just checking the checkbox, if I can put it that way.
So what are the check boxes?
Check boxes, okay, so if you're passenger, like, is this a safe driver? Okay, obviously you can't drive under the influence, so if you are a party person, you need to check that box, because either if you're going to be designated driver, then that's safe and you don't drink and drive. And I guess as an athlete, is always having water in the car is important, because you need to be present when you're driving.
I'm a high performance athlete. I sweat. In the famous words of Daniel Ricciardo. You were saying?
So I can maybe add, I think before a trip, or in general, make sure your car is roadworthy. Because there is a chance that your insurance won't pay out if you don't maintain your car. Because it's a form of negligence. So an example would be the thread on your tire. If your tires are completely worn and you have an accident, there is a chance that your insurance may not pay.
Does it matter if you are a registered driver under that insurance?
So if I generalize it, I would say yes. It depends on the wording of your policy. If it's an open driver policy, you're fine. And generally, we cover any driver. It's just that the regular driver must be the correct person. So if you drive your vehicle on average the most, but 30% of the time somebody else drives it, as long as you're noted as the regular driver, anybody else can drive your car.
So it seems like our safety is in our own hands, but we are protected and we are informed. And we shouldn't be afraid of being informed, that at the end of the day, we are the ones who control and should take ownership of our own safety, of our own app, and of our own policies, because it seems like it is working for us.
And it's all in your control. And if there's anything that you don't feel empowered about, just ask. Your insurer is always there. We're on your side. So if there's anything that's unclear, in order to empower yourself, you ask. And you feel more confident in the way you live.
There you have it. Don't be afraid. Involve yourself and own your own safety.
Momentum Insure, keeping you safe on your journey to success. Visit momentum.co.za for a quote or speak to your financial advisor. Statistics referenced in this production are directly from Momentum Insure's behavioral data.